3 lots of 8-minute heats and an 8-minute final. That was something. How long did you race for tonight? Should we not talk about that?
No.
Okay. Anyway,
I think it's fair to say I have had my worst night of racing ever. Ever.
I'm very sad.
We've literally just got back. What is the time? It's gone midnight? Was it close to?
20 to 12.
20 to 12. So
Yeah.
over an hour drive there,
Mm-hmm.
over an hour drive back,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 15 laps.
Yeah.
15 laps. That's not 15 minutes. That's 15 laps. How many laps did you do this evening?
About 210.
Yeah, it was. We have those nights sometimes, don't we? Sometimes you have good times. Sometimes you have bad times. Now, this video, should we talk about some good times? Are you ready to talk about how you got on at the Iconic Cup yet?
Iconic. I don't want to talk about that.
Don't want to talk about that.
I'm waiting for the next round of that. But
What about? Because I know you recently did the MTC Nationals. You want to talk about that yet?
I don't want to talk about that either.
You don't want to talk about that?
Right. What you got all this chintz for? Somebody call them chintz that hang around, gather dust and
These
that.
are my trophies, boss. I need to pick me up after the shocker of an evening I've had today. Because when you have nights like tonight, you want to get a car, you want to throw it in a bin, and you want to give up.
You're not going to give up, are you?
I'm not going to give up. I'm never going to run that car again, though.
No.
No.
We need it. We need a new. We need a couple of new MTCs, don't we?
Yeah. If we're going to compete at the MTC
That's
Nationals,
right.
we definitely need a new car.
Yes, we do.
Because you raced really well in your final.
Yeah, I did all right.
But I was thinking about it the other day. I believe the car that you were running. So this year's the 2024 championships. I did quite well with it in the 2023 series. You raced it a couple of times in the 2022 series, and that's when it was given to us. But it won some events as a prototype in the 2021 series. That car's 4 years old.
Yeah.
Now, 4 years ago, it was quite competitive.
That's the thing with RC, because it never stands still. People are always trying to eke out a little bit here and a little bit there, as are manufacturers, by the way. And it really showed at the weekend. You know, I think I raced the car pretty well, but it just wasn't. It just couldn't keep up.
Couldn't keep up. I mean, your lines, they were all right because you were pushing. It was understeering. You were going a bit deep at times, but you were consistent. Yeah. Like in the final that we showed the footage of, there was 3 guys having an absolutely mega battle in front of you. They were making mistakes, and you were just able to creep up behind them, keep it consistent. But yeah, it wasn't a Nationals winning car, that is it. Fantastic club racer though.
Yeah, it's a fantastic club racer. But that's the nature of RC, isn't it? You know, the car that you get this year probably won't be that competitive next year. You know, it's just the way it is, brother.
And the car that you arrived in, 4 years old at least.
But you know what? It was a good laugh, wasn't it? We had lots of fun there, and you took away another one of these board things.
I think it's this one. It's the landscape. Last year they were portrait. I think it's the landscape one there. But yeah, I'll tell you what though. I've got one of these. I think it's this one.
What's that one for then?
This is the trophy. That means quite a lot to me. I have been working tirelessly. I've lost count of how many times I've entered the concourse. And it finally happened for me. You weren't there to see it though, boss.
I quite enjoyed taking the mickey out of you every time we lost, and now I can't do it because they gave you the medal. You won't win it again.
I won't win it again. I don't think I can win it again. Are you allowed to win it more than once?
Oh.
I know that the shell's not allowed to win it more than once, but if I was to do another shell, maybe it could happen. But
It could happen.
thinking back at how many times I've tried to win this,
Yeah.
it was a shame you weren't there because I think it would have been quite amusing to capture that on camera.
I would have patted you on the back.
That would have been the nicest thing you would have done to me.
Well,
Although you patted me on the back the other day and left some Tinkerbell stickers on it.
Yeah, well, you
Which
keep fanning around with your cars, don't you? And they never get any quicker. There are people that do that, and they just tinker away.
the old Tinkerbells.
The old Tinkerbells, we call them.
Yeah.
We should start that, Start
Thing.
that going amongst the pits of Great Britain. The
Tinkerbell.
RC pits of Great Britain. If there's anybody out there
Yeah.
tinkering, just
I'll
go
tell you
to
what, in the description, the comments down below, tag a Tinkerbell.
tag your mate who's always faffing around, tweaking,
Tag a Tinkerbell.
and don't go anywhere with it. Like in actual fact, sometimes the
They
car,
go backwards.
Yeah,
What's
I just
that?
remember the story about me mate Eric.
Eric. I knew an Eric once.
So
Is that the wrestler Eric?
not wrestling Eric, no.
He was funny when he had a wrestler Eric.
Yeah, those pants he used to wear. No, it wasn't. It wasn't wrestling Eric. This guy, you see, I used to fly aeroplanes many moons. It's a true story, this. And I just got into the hobby, and I had a high wing trainer type thing. But there's a couple of geezers down there who were very, very good. And there was a geezer called Eric. And Eric could talk the talk, but couldn't necessarily walk the walk, right? There was a guy up there, quite a new fella, and he was flying his plane, and Eric comes over, he says, "Nah, listen," he says, "I can make that fly a bit better." And he went, "Can I?" And I remember thinking, I should really step in here, because Eric ain't a very good pilot. So he landed it, refueled it, took it off, handed the transmitter to old Eric, and Eric... It was in his hands all of about 2 minutes in this aeroplane. It didn't just come down. It literally dropped out of the sky, smashed into about 50 pieces. And the whole pits went quiet. And Eric handed the transmitter back to whoever's it was, and he said, "There was a major problem with that aeroplane. Anyway, I must go." Gave him the transmitter and just walked off. Oh well. Dead Eric, we call him now. Yeah, poor lad. So there you go. That's the story about Eric. Well out of order.
Unbelievable.
I know, mate.
Anyway, so we're not going to talk about my racing tonight. We're not talking about your racing from the Iconic Cup or the NTC Nationals. So
It's all about the future now, mate.
the future.
The future. Anyway, these things here. I said it before. You get these sort of things here if you're A, very good, or B, I don't know how to put it really. Not very good. But if you're like me and you're all right, and by the way, I do mean all right, not amazing, because people keep coming up to me saying, "Oh, you're good, aren't you?" Not really. No, I can get a car round. So I end up with nothing, and there's people just like me out there who end up with nothing. They're sort of fourth in the B final, and that's where they stay, or they go backwards. Occasionally, they might get a third in the B final, like sort of thing that happens to me. But I will never end up with stuff like this. Not just like sandbagging like some of these people.
Oh, don't get me started on sandbagging. The sandbaggers, they're
People
awesome.
just love all this stuff, don't they? They're like, "Oh, I've got a little plastic trophy." They go and shake their wife. Their wife says, "Oh, have you had a good day's racing?" And they whip it out and go, "Yeah, I got that." My wife ain't bothered. If I pull one of them out, once she took it out of my hand, hit me over the head with it, and told me to go away. She's just not even real. It's plastic, she said. So I ain't fussed about all that. You can keep all that. Anyway, we finished.
I guess so.
Yeah.